Hello friends, Hattie here with Honeybee Stampers. I am going live for our happy hour, but I just need to adjust my camera here. It looks like it's twisted. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to happy hour with Honeybee Stampers. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Wednesday, and let me see here. I think it's Wednesday the 12th. So we are going live to do a little project, and you can see the project here. I just need to make sure that everything, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay on my end, and I want to make sure that we're in the right spot and everything's looking good before I proceed. Okay, looks like we're good. Alrighty, so we are going to do this really cute and simple card today, and it features some dies that you may or may not have seen in the catalog. They're kind of hidden, in my opinion, and so I want to highlight them today because we're also going to be using these in our projects for this weekend. This weekend is Sweet and Simple card class here at Honeybee Stampers in Sumter, South Carolina, and we also offer this class to go. And so you can opt in to get it shipped directly to you, and then you can put your projects together, and there's a video where I put all the projects together so you can kind of be inspired by that. And you can use exactly what I use, or you can use items that you have already at home. So this is the sweet little card that we're going to do today, and I'm going to show you a couple things from out of the catalog. All right, let's see here. Looks like I'm all good. Okay, so our host code for this month, it's a long one. It's GGNTWUHW. And what a host code is if you enter the host code when you are checking out in my online store, that makes sure that we attach that order to me so that I can send you a thank you gift in the mail. So that's how that works. So if you decide to place an order to purchase some of the products that I share with you today, then that's what you want to do. Okay, and today we're going to be doing a giveaway for anyone who shares the video. You're going to be entered into a drawing to actually win the Sweet and Simple card class. So the last week we were giving away the snowflakes, so I'm going to be doing a drawing for that. And then we also, the week before that, I didn't do the drawing yet, so we have to do that drawing, and it's for the loose daisy embellishments. So just by sharing this video to your Facebook page, or I'm not sure how I would be able to track if you shared the YouTube video, but anyways, if you hit the share button, then you will get entered into the drawing. So there's that. All right, let's talk about this product because it's really pretty. I'm going to find it in the catalog. So this is our annual catalog that we're working out of today. And in the very back, you're going to find all of the beautiful dies and coordinating bundles that go with dies. And on page 164 in the annual catalog, you're going to find this set of dies called the Gorgeous Garden dies. And they come in a set of 2 dies. They're really large, actually. And they look like this. I like to store mine on these magnetic sheets from Stamp and Storage. You can also buy magnetic sheets that kind of like our vent covers at Lowe's. I find those to be a little bit flimsier for what I'm trying to do, so I really like these magnetic sheets here. And so you're going to get these 2 dies included in this particular die set. Now the die set is a hefty price. It is $42. Okay, so it is an investment, but I'm telling you, you guys are going to love these dies and you're going to use them often. So one of the projects that we are creating this weekend at Sweet and Simple features these dies. Okay, so let me show you how to use this die to create this project. And we're going to start off. I'm going to show you how I put adhesive on the back of this. So because this is such an intricate die, you are going to want to either use a fine tip glue pen to adhere this to your cardstock, or you can use the technique where you take a little sponge dauber and you daub it into some adhesive, liquid adhesive, and you kind of daub that on the back. You could do that way. So those are 2 different ways you can do it. Or you can also use our adhesive sheets. So we sell these large adhesive sheets that you can add to any cardstock to have it turn into a sticker, essentially. So how it works is you would peel it back, and part of the adhesive sheet will be tacky with the adhesive on it, and the other is not. And then you're going to take the back of your cardstock that you're going to use, and you would just, let me move this out of the way, you would just lay it onto the adhesive sheet like this. And what I like to do is put that covering, that it's almost like parchment paper type covering, back over it and push down the adhesive. And then I will take a pair of scissors. I don't usually use my paper snips for this because I don't like them to get gummy, but I think it'll be okay. And I'll just cut this out like so. Okay. And then I will set this to the side because this still has adhesive on it that I can use later for the same technique. So now once I've done that, you can pull off the sheet that's kind of like parchment paper. Oops, I forgot to cut that little piece off. Let's trim that off as well because it's got some tackiness on it and you don't want that exposed. So we'll just kind of follow along here and cut. Okay, there we go. All right, now you're gonna take that piece off, and here is your cardstock. Then what you would do next is you would take one of the dies. So we'll pretend like we're gonna die cut this one because I've actually already done it for you. So you'll take this die and you'll put it cutting side down, and you'd place it right over the cardstock. So now the adhesive part is on the back, right? This is the cardstock that you would either stamp on or whatever you're gonna do with it, and you would run it through your die cutting machine. Now, I'm not gonna do that for you guys today. I guess I'm under the assumption that you guys kind of know how the whole die cutting machine works and how you'd use the different plates. If you do not, if you are watching this video and you're like, what is she even talking about? Please drop a comment down below, and I will definitely, going forward, show you exactly the steps to running the dies through the die cutting machine. Because there's different plates and different sandwiches that you need to make based on if you are die cutting or if you are embossing, and whether or not your embossing folder is a 3D embossing folder or not. So if you're confused about any of that at all, please let me know and I'll be happy to help. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for joining. It's good to see you on here. Okay, so there's that. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, so I've already die cut this for you, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's already die cut. It comes out looking like this. And yes, some of the little tiny pieces are still embedded in there, but when you pull the adhesive sheet off of the back, that makes it a sticker, right? It usually pulls those little pieces off, and if they don't come off, you can use your take your pick tool to get them. So here's that. Now what I want to do next is I want to add some color to this. I will tell you that this right here, so if you were to do a card where it was this die cut on top of white, this like color on color or white on white is so gorgeous. This would be a perfect like wedding card, okay? So today though, for today's card, we are going to add some color to it. So let me grab out my colors here. I decided to feature some new colors. So they're not in colors, but they're brand new colors that Stampin' Up! Brought out with this new annual catalog this year. And they did a color refresh, so they not only brought out 5 new in colors, but just a few other. They brought some colors back, and then they brought in some new ones. And these are 2 brand new colors to us. So this first one is called Lemon Lolly, and it's kind of a bright, bright yellow. And the second color that I'm going to be using is Azure Afternoon. Okay. Make sure I'm in the screen. Yep. Okay, so then what I did was I grabbed some sponge daubers. These sponge daubers are really inexpensive, and they come in a set of 5. Let me see if I can find them for you really quick so you can mark them in your catalog if this is something that you want. It's a great tool to be able to color. That little technique that I mentioned earlier about putting adhesive on the back of an intricate die like this, I would use a sponge dauber to apply it. So if you go to page 137 in the annual catalog, you'll see them right here. They're number 12, and they are only $5.50, and you get 5 of them. And so I would label this with Lemon Lolly, and I would use this over and over again. So I'm going to apply some ink to the tip of that sponge dauber, and then I'm just going to daub right in the center of the flowers. I'm not worried about the little pieces that are still left in there that shouldn't be. I'll pull those out in a minute. So I'm just wanting to add some color to the center of each of these flowers. And you can see how easily this goes on. You could probably use Stampin' Blends to do this as well, but the daubers are perfect for the effect I'm going for. So you can see that, like that in itself to me is super pretty. So now I'm gonna switch daubers and I'm gonna go with the Azure Afternoon. And these little berry looking things, I am going to put some blue on them. And again, this is, you know, kind of a fussy technique that I'm doing, so it's not like I'm trying to be precise by any means. I just want to add a little bit of blue to wherever I see those little berries. I wonder what kind of flowers these are. I am not well versed in horticulture or planting or gardening or any of that stuff. So if any of you out there knows what kind of flower this is, you'll have to let me know. Okay. Did I get all of them? I think I did. All right, looks good. Close these so I don't get them stuck on my fingers. Now, here's the fun part. We're gonna take the adhesive off and adhere it to this smoky slate piece. The reason I didn't put it directly on this Azure, because originally I was gonna do that, I felt like the little blue berries or baubles or whatever those are, I felt like those kind of disappeared. And so I wanted to put a contrasting color on the back that looked well. I mean, it coordinated with it, but it did contrast with it so that it would pop. Okay, so my paper trimmer's been acting up lately. I use a Carl cutter often when I am, especially when I'm mass producing or cutting for classes. I need to find a new heavy duty paper cutter because lately my Carl cutter has been acting less than satisfactory. Okay, so then I picked the smoky slate and I love this part of it. You're just gonna pull off that adhesive. It's like no muss, no fuss. It's so perfect. The adhesive sheets are really inexpensive too, and they will last you quite a while. Okay, now you can see that I've got a few pieces on here that stuck because they have the adhesive on there, and I want to poke them out. Let me grab my take your pick tool. This is a perfect time to use this. Okay. Was that it? I guess that was it. Okay. Oh, this one little piece right there. Okie dokie, let's move these little pieces out of here. I was using this other side. If you're not familiar with the take your pick tool, I'll definitely have to point up, I'll show you guys this because you have these little attachments that you can take in and out depending on what your needs are. And they just came out with a brand new attachment that's like a rotary blade. So, okay dokie. Now I'm going to lay this right over this piece here. So I did cut this piece down. Oops. Here's the other great part. The adhesive does move a little bit with you without messing anything up. It's a very delicate adhesive. Okay, there. I wanted to move it over a little bit so it fit on there. And if you've got a little bit of extra sticking out, then you can just trim it. So like this right here, I would trim down. Okay. It's coming together. It's so pretty. And then we're going to place it right on our card here. I'll just use some liquid adhesive because I have that right at my fingertips. Some people like to call this green glue. Okay. And I'm going to try to center this as best as I can. And there'll be a little bit of the blue Azure Afternoon peeking out from the back. So the measurements for this, and if you're on my email list, you will get the picture of this card and the measurements and everything. But if you wanted to, if you're like kind of stamping along with me for today, then I think the measurements are 4 and 1/16, I believe, by 5 and 3/8. I'll double check, and then I'll share it in my email. I'll put a little description in the comments below so that you have a link to join my email list. If you're not on my email list, definitely join, because I'll be sharing stuff with you guys there. And as I release new classes and events and everything, you'll be the first to know. Okay, there's that. Now we want to add a sentiment to it and some ribbon. So what I decided to do, because those are just 2 dies, there's no sentiments or stamps or anything that went with it, I chose Two-Tone Flora and Something Fancy. So these came out last year, like I think our last spring catalog. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I had a chance to present this product at our on stage in November last year, and it's beautiful. And if you guys want to see some more samples with this, definitely go check out my Instagram, because I have lots of samples on there. So the Two-Tone Flora is a gorgeous 2-step stamping. I'm not going to do this 2-step stamping with you, but I'm going to show you some a couple cards, extra cards that I did do the flower part of it. So let me set that to the side. But we've got some sentiments that also are kind of part of that suite of products. It was a suite. I don't know that it's a suite anymore. I don't think it is. But you can buy this Something Fancy stamp set, and then there's dies that coordinate with it. Let's see if I can find them here. Here are the dies. So these dies are great label dies, and they nest well together, and they also pair well together. You can kind of mix and match to get a different look. So that's what I did with this. I die cut this one right here with basic white, and then Azure Afternoon I did with one of these. And when you can either layer these together, or you can layer them together like so to create just kind of a different look. And I love that. So we are going to, this is a sympathy card, but we're going to switch it up. Let's see here. Let's do this one. Will that one fit? Let me see. Yeah, looks like it'll fit. Okay, let's grab that one. And I know I had a block in here earlier. It says, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. And I think that's awesome. Now, typically when I have a red rubber stamp like this, I will stamp first and then die cut so I can have it, you know, centered perfectly. But I already die cut this for you guys today to make it easier. So we'll ink this up in the blue Afternoon Azure, or Azure Afternoon. Gotta get used to these new colors. And I'm gonna stamp right there, and hopefully it's centered. That looks good. Yay. Now I did want to add a little bit of some color to the back of that. So what I did was I grabbed the Lemon Lolly marker. And honestly, if you're looking at a card and you're like, gosh, something is missing on this card, I don't know what it is. It needs something. I'm telling you, grab a marker, Stampin' Write marker. You can actually use the Stampin' Blends too, but I don't, because I want those Stampin' Blends to like really maintain the integrity of their tips for coloring. So I'll use a Stampin' Write marker, and I'll just kind of flick some color. So it is very subtle on this one because the Lemon Lolly is such a light color, but it takes away from that like stark white look that you're just like, something is missing. So there we go. All right, now we're going to adhere this. I think this time I am actually going to pop that up. I put it down directly onto each other with this card, but this time I think I'm going to pop it up. So we'll just put some dimensionals here and here. And oops, set it down too soon. Okay, and then we'll just center it right there. There we go. Now, for this ribbon in the background, we have some brand new ribbon that came out. Let me see. I don't even know where to put it. Here it is. And it comes in a combo pack, and it comes in this Azure Afternoon, which is really pretty. It also comes in Lemon Lolly, and then it comes in Bubble Bath. Now the lemon lolly, I didn't feel like that color matched really great with the cardstock. So I'm not gonna use that. I'll have to figure out a way to incorporate that ribbon somehow, somewhere else. It just didn't match with this color yellow for some reason, or the cardstock. So weird, but this looks really good. So it's got a little bit of a silver threading in there. And what I did for my card originally was I just adhered a little like faux bow type thing and stuck this on it. Another way that you could do this is that I could have wrapped this before I placed my die cut piece down onto the Azure Afternoon. I could have wrapped it around like this and done a little faux bow that way. But let's just go ahead and we're gonna do this one. So what I'm gonna do is grab some, I'm gonna use this adhesive and just add a little strip right there, and then just kind of do that with it. It's not wanting to stick there. All right, and grab some ribbon scissors, if I can get it out. Okay, that should hold. Otherwise, I'm gonna actually put some dimensionals over the top of them. So we'll put a dimensional right here and right here, and that should keep it in place for us. And then we'll add another little dimensional here. I love dimensionals, and down here, and we should be good. And right over that. There we go. Okay, now we've got a birthday card. So originally we had this great sympathy card, and now we're gonna switch it up and get a birthday card in there. And all of the sentiments actually in this Something Fancy stamp set they're great. So you matter to so many with deepest sympathy. I didn't forget your birthday, the one we just read. May the good you do come back to you. Nothing fancy, just love. Here's to beautiful beginnings and happily ever after. So that's perfect for a wedding. Thank you. Congratulations, happy birthday, grateful for the everyday magic of you. So you can see that these sentiments kind of like run the gamut, right? So you've got thank you cards and congratulation cards and sympathy cards. So if you're looking for a sentiment stamp set, this is a great one. And it pairs perfectly with this die set as well. So there's that. And then I wanted to add a little bling. So we've got these embellishments, and they are called adhesive back solid gems, and they've got 3 different colors. So I can't remember which. I think, is it pecan pie? Or copper clay? It's one of those two. It's either pecan pie or copper clay, or it probably coordinates with both. And then this one's supposed to be boho blue, but it does look good with this card as well. And then this one is lemon lolly. So we're gonna grab some lemon lolly, and we'll just put, I'll kind of keep with what I did. Typically I do rule of 3, where I put 3 different gems on a card, unless I'm flanking a sentiment or something like this. And then I'll just put 2. Okay, and that really draws attention to the sentiment. So there's that. All right, so beautiful card, and I have some other samples to share with you so you can see some other things. But let me talk about this for just a second. Who has a take your pick tool out there? My friend Tamara engraved those for me and some of my team members as a gift. I gifted it to my team members, I should say. And I love it. I just think it's so fun. But this is a really cool tool that you can use for a lot of things. Let me show you some of the other attachments that you can actually purchase as well. Okay, so on page 145 of the annual catalog, you're going to see this take your pick tool, and it is $11. And what it does is, on one end, you're going to have, it doesn't come with this attachment here. It's actually going to come like this with these 2 attachments. And so on one end, you're going to have a putty, this little putty on the end, and this is filled with putty here. So if you run out of putty, you just turn the knob, and then it like dispenses more putty. And so what the putty allows you to do is pick up little pieces of whatever, the embellishments or paper, So for instance, if you've got a little tiny paper like this and you want to pick it up and place it somewhere, you can do that. Another thing I will do with my putty end is if I'm heat embossing and I got these little strays of embossing powder that I don't want to heat, I'll use the putty to kind of get that off of there. So that's a couple different ways that you can use the putty. And then on this end, you've got two devices here, or two attachments. This one right here is kind of like a spatula. Now, I'm going to be doing a chalking class for, it's just basic chalking with the soft pastels with our stamp camp next weekend. And so I'm actually going to offer that class to the masses. So not just my stamp campers. Now they get a special price for that add-on class, but I am going to offer it as a class in general, just because using the pastels is so fun. And I think it's underutilized, and, you know, a lot of people don't get a chance to do it because maybe they don't know what to do with it. So I use this when I'm working with those pastels. So that's what that little spatula is on that end. And then you've got a little pokey paper piercer tool on this end. And then you have the option to add some attachments. So this attachment right here is very useful in that when you're doing something like the die cutting and it's so intricate, right? Let me see if it's this one. No, gotta go on the other side. Okay, so you would just pull this attachment off and then you would twist this one on. And when you purchase this particular attachment, and this one's called the die brush tip, you would also get a piece of foam that looks like this. So when you're die cutting and you've got all of these intricate dies and these little tiny pieces, you would brush them off through here to kind of push them through and be able to take them out and clean your die. So that's what that's for. And now they just came out with this new attachments, number 9. It's called the Take Your Pick Crafter's Tips. And it has interchangeable tips for, it has a hobby blade, a pick tip, which is definitely more fine than this one right here. And then it also has a rotary perforating tip. So it's that one right there. And I bet that would really look cool on your paper to make everything look stitched. I haven't played with it yet. I do have it, so I'm going to have to take a look at it and I'll let you guys know. But I wanted to highlight that because that's an amazing product line. Okay, so there's that. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you about this product before we move on. I don't think so. So here are our cards. I hope you guys think that those are cute as well. I took and decided to make one in pink. So I highlighted, this is the bubble bath, and this is that bubble bath ribbon that's part of that combo pack as well. Lemon Lolly again. And then I did the same smoky slate, and then of course the bubble bath cardstock. So there's 2 different ones. Now, the other thing you could do is I left these flowers white because I thought they were cool, but you could completely cover this in sponging. So you could sponge all of these green and add some color to the end of the flowers and all kinds of things and really create something awesome. So because there's 2 dies, I did want to show you the other die as well. So this was that die that we were just working with. And then for this die right here, I created some monochromatic cards featuring some of our in colors. So here is a pebbled path card, and I just placed it directly onto a very vanilla card base. And let's see, this is where I featured that stamp set that I mentioned. So the 2-tone flora, that's where I used those flowers there. And I'm telling you, these are so pretty. So when I'm lining these up, the little tip from me to you is to stamp the detailed stamp first. And then you're going to stamp off, or you can change the color, but stamping off works really well. You just stamp off this color and you line up like this stamen right here. You would line that up with this one, and then you would get a perfect image almost every time. Now, so for this one, I would line up the center. There's like that little center swoopy doopy thing. If you line those up, you'll nail it every time. Same with this one. And then this has got like a little, looks like an eyebrow or something. But anyways, that little swoop right there, stamp that one first, full force, stamp off on this one, line these little eyebrows up, and you're good to go. And then these little dots are what you would use there. And then also you could do that with those as well. So this is an awesome stamp set, you guys, but the flowers are so pretty. Like, take a look at that 2-step stamping flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Super easy to put together. So here's that wedding sentiment that I mentioned, right? So that's really great. And then this is the same sentiment that we just used. It's the birthday sentiment for those of us who are really always late for everything, including sending birthday cards. Now this one, I wanted to show you two of the other flowers. So I did those two flowers, and then here's some of the ribbon that coordinates. And oh, I did sneak in some ribbon here at the bottom. So because these are in colors, I use the in color ribbon there. And then we have also got these in color gems. So they're little enamel dots that coordinate with all the in colors as well. I love this leaf. That's part of that two-tone flora. There's that. And then this one right here. So this is boho blue, and the stamping off is definitely a lot lighter, but I feel like this is such a pretty flower as well. That's that little eyebrow I was telling you guys to line up, and you'll be perfect. And then we've got that beautiful thing right there, and I added some ribbon in the back, and this. So, and these little, let's see here, all three of these label dies coordinate, or not coordinate, are these right here. And so if you're looking at this and you're wondering, what is that? So this right here is an element that you can use. This one, all three of these right here, you just would place these up here when you're die cutting, and then it will die cut out these little details for you to make your, and I probably should have done that with these cards actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I did cover up most of it with the flowers, but you can't really tell, but these are those little tags right here. So really fun. Really, really fun. Okay, so those are the projects. We're going to be doing a different card for Sweet and Simple, and so I'll share that with you guys later. But there's still time to sign up for Sweet and Simple card class for Saturday, whether you come in person at 10 or at 4, or you get it to go. And the price is a little bit different if you get it to go to cover shipping. So there's that. I believe it's $25 if you're coming in person and you're paying in person. If you use PayPal, then I think it's $28, and then that's the same with shipping to go. It's going to be $28. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I created. Please like, comment, and share. And let me see if I have any questions. Thank you for sharing, Brenda. I appreciate that. Oh, hi, Linda. Thank you. I think these colors are really fun together too. The other really cool thing you could do is you could die cut this, and I haven't done it yet, but I will. Die cut this in metallic, like a metallic color, and then lay it over the top of some really pretty designer series paper. And that designer series paper will kind of pop through, and the metallic will really look good. So you may see a card sample like that in the future. All right. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. I'm here to answer them. I'll do the drawings in a different video. I keep saying I'm going to go live, but I've got some events that we're going to be rolling out for August. So I want to kind of let you guys know about that, and I'll do that in a video like I did last month, where I just share with you face to face. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that so much. I hope you're inspired to create some of these too. Don't miss these dies in the back of the catalog. They're amazing. Oh, one more thing. At the end of this month, I'm having Stampin' Bingo, and this die set is one of the bingo prizes that you can choose. So it's $42, or if you join bingo, you have a chance to win. And bingo is going to be super fun. And that's here in the studio. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.